I had the pleasure of being part of one of the largest snowstorms in Texas history. If you're not aware, I live in Dallas, Texas, and we got 6, 7 inches. I don't know. It felt like 100 feet of snow. While it wasn't that bad, that's definitely what it felt like. And snow in and of itself doesn't really bother me. Because you see, your girl used to work at a ski resort, so snow comes and goes. What I wasn't expecting was being in a state with government officials who did not know what to do when snow happened. So, what should have been just a regular snowstorm where people kind of hunker down and figure it out became something so much greater. This week, I figured we could talk about some of those leadership lessons learned from Snowmageddon 2021. Happy Monday. Thank you for joining me for this week's Weekly Wisdom. So the first thing that I want to talk about is this works anytime there's a crisis and you are the leader involved. First thing is you need to be proactive. You need to know what's going to happen, worst case scenario. As a kid, you probably took place in fire drills or tornado drills, some kind of drills in school where they would prepare you, if this happens, this is how you respond. When I was at Disney, we would have tabletop drills for hurricanes, tornadoes, fires when I was in the hotel. All of the different things that we needed to do to keep us safe, the cast members safe, but keep the guests safe as well. You can never be too prepared during a catastrophe, during a crisis. Think about these things beforehand. Think about what happens, worst case scenario for all of the different scenarios that you have in your workplace. What are you going to do, and what do you expect your employees to do? Bring them in as well because they may consider something that you have not considered. Now, the second thing that we want to talk about is communication. You cannot over communicate during a crisis. I don't care what anybody says. You can't. Most people think they over communicate now. As a leader, chances are we don't communicate enough. We think we do, but I promise you we don't. We need to communicate better and even more in the midst of a crisis. During Snowmageddon, one of the things that my neighborhood, we have a Facebook page. And so everybody was coming together talking about the rolling outages. Some people were 30 minutes on, 30 minutes off. Other people were out for days. We had parents who were reaching out saying, hey, we're running out of diapers. We're running out of formula. We're running out of water. And the neighborhood would come together. It was a phenomenal example of how people can come together to solve problems as a collective when they know that a problem exists. We had homes that had electricity during the entire thing that were making giant batches of things like spaghetti or soup, and it was just come as you will for the rest of the neighborhood. As a leader, think about it. What communication do you need? If you're the employee, what would you want to know? And then communicate this information out. And one of the most important parts is let your employees know what you expect from them in the midst of a crisis. They need to know, are they taking care of their customers? Are they just evacuating? What is the expectation? Communicate, communicate, communicate. And then the third piece that we're going to talk about is be there for your employees. Some of the best companies that I saw handle Snowmageddon were the ones that were constantly communicating with their employees, but also understanding their employees were in a tricky situation. Many of them did not have electricity. Some of the companies around here were trying to find hotels for their employees without electricity. They were letting their employees know, you know what, if you don't come to work, it's not a problem. We'll figure it out. If you can safely get to work, come to work. We have work for you. But they were letting all of their employees know what to expect and know what was required of them. If your employees were, their pipes burst, because that's what happens when water freezes in pipes, it causes the pipes to burst. The companies are stepping up saying, how can we help? What do you need? What can we do for you? Because the thing is, a company always wants their employees to be there for them. But not enough companies think, how can I be there for my employees when it's done? So the three pieces of leadership dealing with being a leader during a time of crisis. The first one is make sure that you're proactive. Second, communication is key. Make sure you are communicating. And then the third, take care of your employees. Because however you treat your employees, that's how they're going to treat you. And then this is just a bonus tip, but y'all know, huge fan, manage yourself first. Leadership starts here and then goes out. Make sure that you're managing yourself. Make sure that you're not trying to be the end all for everyone. You're not trying to be the hero. You're a human. You're just a person, and that's okay. And if you're interested in learning more about managing yourself first, there's going to be a link down in the comments that's going to bring you directly to a piece that I do for companies that's all about managing yourself first. It's 10 minutes, quick and easy, but it's pretty good stuff. Thank you for joining me for this week. I hope you have had an amazing week. And if you were involved in Snowmageddon, leave down in the comments, what did you learn over the past couple of weeks? Have a wonderful week. And don't forget, you got this. I'll see you next week.